Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Um, I just want to make a quick video. Um, there's, I've been uploading a lot of text into the archive, but one of them I just uploaded was the Latin revelation of John about Antichrist. It's very short. I read it. I'm not going to go through the whole text in this video, but while reading it, I just got hit with some revelations. Um, Now, I could literally talk for hours about the Antichrist. Um, I will just say some basics, though. What mo- um, in our Gospels, Yeshua says he'll, everybody will be saved except for the son of perdition. Okay, that was originally his from before the foundation of the world, except the son of perdition. Um, So, when we study all the extra biblical texts and in our studies, we realize that the Antichrist is going to be Lucifer himself. It's going to be literally Satan himself. Whatever image he takes on, I think is a mystery, but that spirit, that entity that's going to be the Antichrist, is going to be that entity that fell in Isaiah 14. And when we read Isaiah 14, that just opens up rabbit holes of prophecy. Um, so there are a lot of texts about the Antichrist that we could study. I'll name a few if anyone's interested. Um, the Apocalypse of Elijah is one. The Ascension of Isaiah gets into the Antichrist. We have Psalms and the Psalms of Solomon that go in great detail about the Antichrist. It really just goes on and on. And this text, I've just read it for the first time. I actually found that it runs parallel with the things that we read in, like, the Apocalypse of Elijah. The Apocalypse of Elijah is an important text to study, learning about the Antichrist and what it's going to be like in the Great Tribulation and all that kind of stuff. I highly recommend it. We have a high quality audio book of it in the archive as well. Um, so when I was reading this text, bam, I just got hit with some revelation, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because on the surface, the physical description of the Antichrist, you read this stuff, it's very similar to what we hear about in the Apocalypse of Elijah. I haven't compared the two, but we read these physical descriptions and it's like, that sounds absolutely insane. So, and I finally realized, whoa, these are just Hebrew idioms. These are spiritual symbolisms. Okay, and I don't understand all of them, but I was able to discern some as I read this text, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because it's actually pretty amazing. So here we are, the birth and the physical description of the Antichrist. Let's just skip to the physical description, okay? Here we are. And he will have one eye in his forehead and one ear in his head. Okay, he will have one eye in his forehead. What do you think that means? That's the all-seeing eye. I'm sorry. That is going to be his third eye. He's going to have the power of the third eye. Okay? So, and he's going to have one ear in his head. Now, I don't fully understand what that means, but I think he's probably going to be able to hear the thoughts and have full surveillance over the whole world. Okay, in some way or another, whatever satanic power there is regarding that. Okay, wait. Okay, and his lip hanging down to his chest. Now, so this is what tells me these texts are originally Hebrew in form. His lip hanging down to his chest. Now, I know this because studies that we know about the Antichrist, he's going to destroy many with peace. Okay, so his lip, what is the chest in Hebrew? It's the breastplate of righteousness. So he's going to be destroying many with peace. His lip is going to hang down to his chest. And we read about this stuff in the Apocalypse of Elijah. The new people that come to Christ in the Great Tribulation are going to be deceived and following the Antichrist and all that kind of stuff. So, amazing. Figure this stuff out. He will have no upper teeth or knees. Okay, I know teeth kind of mean the aggression of the enemy. I don't know. I don't really understand the Hebrew idiom of knees. The soles of his feet will be round like the wheels of a cart. I don't fully understand what that means. Nor do I understand one rib will be visible in his left side without others. I don't know. Is that a reference to like Adam and Eve kind of thing? I really don't know. The hairs on his head will be black and terrible. Now, hair means glory. It means strength. It can even mean sexual energy. The Psalms of Solomon suggest that the Antichrist goes into women's houses and the women just love him and all this kind of stuff. So the hairs on his head will be black and terrible. Now here's something very interesting. A threefold fume will go out through his nose like sulfurous flame reaching up to heaven. Okay, now I understand what this means. In our Bibles, it talks about smoke comes out of God's nostrils. All right, now what happens when we snort? Like, right? We snort. It's kind of like an act of an aggression, kind of like an act of unforgiveness, right? We snort at someone, like, you're so wrong at something, like whatever. So when we read that, say like it's in like Psalm 18, for example, it's a representation because we're made in the image of God, so we have His emotions. So when He snorts, I see that as an act of like aggression, unforgiveness, rebuke, reproach, judgment. Okay? So when we hear the Antichrist, he has a threefold fume coming out of his nose like a sulfurous flame that reaches up to heaven. So yeah, he's going to be murdering and slaying the saints we read of in like the Psalms of Solomon, all this stuff, pointing out, they're sinning, and he slays the saints. And the Apocalypse Elijah gets into this stuff so we could decipher this. And it's going to reach up to heaven. So really amazing. So that's pretty cool. Another revelation I finally just realized. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I know this word is in this text. It's not giving it to me. Corners. How about the letter 4? Okay. Give me 1 minute here. Pardon me. Okay. Okay, here we go. On the day he is born, all will inhabit the four parts of the world. So, now, in our studies, what I've learned is that the four corners of the earth, we've learned that Golgotha is called the center of the earth. And the Cave of Treasures teaches us that when the earth was formed in Genesis 1, the winds, the spirits that created the earth, so to say, the spirit of the earth, it just grew out and it came and they all met at Golgotha, making the form of a cross. That's why we have the four corners of the earth. So it's really amazing how on the day he is born, all will inhabit the four parts of the earth. So that kind of confirms that revelation. It also confirms that desolations, I don't know, all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Another thing, we have the mark of the beast. Here we go. A mention of the mark of the beast. And all who will believe in him, he will mark with a single letter on their forehead. All right, that's a Hebrew idiom. And no one will be able to erase that device. It's interesting how the Latin interprets the mark of the beast as a device. So yeah, it's likely a chip, guys. It's likely a chip. Pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I saw in the text. It talks about Enoch and Elijah. It confirms a lot of the stuff that we read in the other texts. So if you're interested in this topic, I highly recommend studying the Apocalypse of Elijah and checking out Psalms of Solomon, Psalm 4. That's a way to go too. The Ascension of Isaiah gets into this stuff. Oh, another pretty cool thing about this text is there seems to be a little bit of revelation in the silence in heaven, right? In the book of Revelation, I think it's 8, it talks about there's going to be silence in heaven for a half hour. So I don't think I fully understand that. I know there is glimpses and revelations in that in the book of Enoch. The Wisdom of Solomon mentions that silence in heaven. I've studied this stuff on my own, and it's still kind of a mystery. But here we go, a little bit more revelation in there. So that's pretty cool. And we hear the resurrection of the dead. I don't know. That this seems to kind of contradict the first fruits resurrection, but all this stuff is really a mystery for our own protection. We won't really know until this stuff comes to pass. So I don't know. I just wanted to share this text with you guys. It's pretty cool. All right. Enjoy. Have a good night. And for those of you celebrating the Sabbath, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for tuning in.